Where are the tapes? They start with the allegation, and then there's never any substantiation, and even worse, they don't cover the rebuttal. People who were there, the verifiable proof. All right, the left, Donald Trump. So here's the thing. I think it's really valuable, all right? Let me know, do you, what leftist sites do you have bookmarked? That's most of my bookmarks, and I check them every morning. Reddit Politics is one of them because there are 8 million something users, rabidly left. The moderators there are rabidly left. There is no balance. You want to know what the left is saying in their echo chamber. This is where you go and you click the tab, most popular or hot. If you were to read this, you look at those headlines. I checked this last night. Oh. Top 4, top 5, where Donald Trump, bombshell. Donald Trump says he doesn't want to spend money to bury an effing Mexican. Bombshell. Donald Trump says he's Hitler. You would think there's actually a source or a story. Okay. There's not. So, new hit piece, and I'm going to get curious coincidences, but Jeffrey Goldberg at The Atlantic, he claimed that Trump is a giant Hitler fan. Okay, that would be a big deal. Mm-hmm, right. If you have video of Donald Trump saying I love Hitler, can't get enough, num 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 Hitler. Instead, the article cites 2 people who heard him say this at 31 Flavors last night. They heard Trump state, "Unbelievable. I need the kind of generals that Hitler had." And then hours later, the New York Times, and before we play the clip, they release audio of John Kelly. Again, we'll go back to another rumor started by this guy, where he's describing Trump saying this. But here's the thing. They play it. They could easily have had John Kelly to discuss this. Instead, they play an audio call, and I know what they're doing here. It's a technique they'll do in the news. So it tricks you into thinking it's a secret recording. You'll remember it as though you heard Donald Trump recorded saying it. There's no reason for John Kelly to be recorded with a crappy mic stating that he heard Donald Trump say something like that once. Here's the clip. Now he's at the closet. Now he's opening the closet. Sorry, better Kelly. Here's John Kelly.
He commented more than once that that Hitler did some good things too. First of all, you should never say that. But if you knew what Hitler was all about from the beginning to the end, everything he did was in support of his racist, fascist life, philosophy. So that nothing he did, you could argue, was good. It was certainly not done for the right reason.
I'm so glad that was recorded, and we have a window. So hold on a second. So Trump, let's see. Donald Trump is a fascist who would want to jail political opponents. He's just like Hitler.
I mean, so I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up.
Für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe.
That silver-tongued devil. I get it.
That was him ordering at Venus Schnitzel.
I said spicy mustard!
Bang!
Pulling up, driving. Do you have any grateful pot? Yes, I do. Thank you! This will greatly improve my sandwich! All right.
It's a little Paul.
I said pastrami. This is corned beef.
Just different.
Uh-oh, I have a lady driver.
By the way, that was not a real translation. That was
not a real translation, just so you know. We know that Hitler did jail political opponents. We couldn't find him saying it in a speech. So just before you fact check us, fact check funny. Now, so here's the thing. Goldberg's Atlantic article, it also alleged that Donald Trump disparaged a fallen Mexican soldier, and I believe her name is Vanessa Guillen. Or is that? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly.
I believe so, yeah.
So these are the headlines that you saw yesterday. These are the bombshells.
According to attendees and to contemporaneous notes of the meeting taken by a participant, an aide answered, yes, we received a bill. The funeral cost $60,000. Trump became angry. It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury a bleeping Mexican. He turned to his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and issued an order, quote, don't pay it.
Okay, so someone said that they heard him say this and said, well, the problem is Mark Meadows already came out and said this didn't happen. Quote from Beddoes, any suggestion that President Trump disparaged Ms. Guillen or refused to pay for her funeral expenses is absolutely false. Well, that would be enough, except another fact check. Her sister, Myra, posted this last night on Twitter, X. Wow, I don't appreciate how you are exploiting my sister's death for politics. Hurtful and disrespectful to the important changes she made for service members. President Donald Trump did nothing but show respect to my family and Vanessa. In fact, I voted for President Trump today. So this is important, but where have we heard this before? Almost everything that you think you may not like about Donald Trump, a lot of it, it all has been presented with the same kinds of sources, which brings us to our newest installment, Curious Coincidences. All right, let's go through them. Here's one that and it's just the connections here. Okay.
It's going to piss you off.
So the same exact timing, 2020 election.
Yep.
Okay. Same timing, 2020 election, right before. Same journalist, Jeffrey Goldberg. Same publication, The Atlantic. The same source in the publication, John Kelly says so. That's where you heard of the losers and suckers quote of Donald Trump to the fallen soldiers. Remember? Suckers, you're not suckers. It was used in a presidential debate as fact. Same publication, same reporter, same source, same bullshit. And again, that was debunked by John Bolton, who's an anti-Trumper.
Not just an anti-Trumper, a guy who lives for nothing else right now than going against Donald Trump. For him to come out and be like, debunking that. So I'm supposed to believe this retired General Kelly now?
Right.
In this story? Are you serious?
So if people out there, the reasons they may hate, we've already gone through like very fine people on both sides, right? Where people don't quote that he said, make your voices heard peacefully and patriotically, all of those myths. But these are the scandals that a lot of people believe, like losers and suckers. He shouldn't denigrate our troops that way. We can't completely prove it false, aside from the people who were there saying that it was false or people who were involved saying it's false. But you know what? I think it was Christopher Hitchens who said, an assertion that could be made without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. And we have more evidence that it's not true.
And they're still running it.
Still running it. Look on CNN right now. John Kelly speaks out. Oh, really? Speaks out. He's a brave whistleblower.
Yes. Says Trump meets the general definition of a fascist. Apparently, we need to make sure people understand what fascists really are.
Yeah, they're people who prosecute and jail political opponents.
That's true. Yeah.
Here's another example. You may not remember. Cassidy Hutchinson. Remember? Bitch Cassidy? She was the one at the January 6th committee. She made an appearance saying that Trump went crazy on his security detail and jerked the wheel and something clavicle, and a lot of you believed it.
Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now.
Why don't you take off your
To which
top,
Bobby responded, sir, we have to go back to the West Wing.
pig?
The president
Hooah.
reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel.
Grab your steering wheel.
This is second hand, by the way.
Mr. Engel grabbed his
Or third.
arm,
Second.
said, sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol.
Listen to the overdramatic.
It's the same energy.
Mr. Trump then used his
step down to
free
B.
hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Renato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
Okay, so before we even get to that, like the driver of the car testified that that didn't happen. He said, that didn't happen at all. I didn't see him try to lunge to the front seat at all. So it makes no sense. But just think of the way she's describing it. It also makes no sense. You don't need it to be refuted by someone who was there, though it's nice to see that, and the media still covers it as though it's true. Like Donald Trump, like he's Hannibal Lecter, like he's Gerard Butler in law-abiding citizen, like, we're going back to the West Wing, I'm taking his clavicle! What? Why would he even grab a clavicle? That makes no sense.
No, it's neck. Somebody says neck. Clavicle seems like, well, we rehearse this and we need to be very specific. It's clavicle.
Clavicle.
It's clavicle area. Well, that's the neck, lady. By the way, this is somebody that told her something that happened that she's now testifying before January 6th. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
You weren't there. You didn't see it. Let's ask the people that were there. Hey, guys, did this happen? Nah, we kind of drove back to the White House. I don't see Donald Trump lunging forward to grab the wheel. I think I would have remembered it. Okay, next case.
And the only...
Is she under oath when she's saying that?
Technically.
So is anybody ever going to get fucking arrested?
No. Believe all women. That's the problem with that culture,
that was
too.
a woman?
You have women who are completely emboldened to come out and say, well, I saw this. No fear of consequences because, if you're saying it's not true, this is the culture of not believing women. Well, hold on a second. It started with the culture of cops not believing women if they don't, if they don't administer a rape kit. Then I went to like not believing that women have had bad dates. And now it's, hold on a second. We're a culture of not believing women who choose to testify when people who are in the car say it's not true. Then you can't call anyone a liar.
I got my own saying. Believe all movie directors.
That couch is a sign of virtue. Now,
goddamn right.
2017. Remember this one?
Virtue couch.
Part of the Steele dossier.
Yeah.
This was a big one. For those of you who are new, you may not remember this. They claimed that Russian intelligence had the video of Trump at the Moscow Ritz-Carlton, which was the pee tape. Hookers peeing on furniture, and that Donald Trump had them pee on each other and on a bed. This whole thing, by the way, the whole Steele dossier has been completely discredited. It was proven to be Democrat-funded opposition, right? It was funded against Donald Trump, and there were Russian operatives who were paid. For some reason, the Russian intervention here doesn't seem to come into play to the left when you actually have a receipt.
Yep.
But if you don't believe me, take it from Trump's press secretary in a parallel universe.
Good afternoon. I'm the President's press secretary. Good to see you all. You believe that? You believe Rachel Maddow has fits.
Does the President generally have confidence in the intelligence community's findings and conclusions about Russia?
No, of course not. You guys made him out to be like he was Putin's life partner. They were riding bare-chested together on a horse. He has a relationship with Putin. He doesn't love the guy, he doesn't hate him, but he has a relationship. He also was the first guy to go see the midget in North Korea. What was his name there? Stumpy. He eats like there's no tomorrow, and the rest of his population, the rest of the people, weigh about 11 grams soaking wet. So he's not a good guy, but we have a relationship with him. And you notice he hasn't shot any rockets off or whatever they use over there. I think M80s they were bragging about on NBC. No, when it comes to what you guys report about Russia, no, he doesn't believe any of it, to answer your question. Any guys want to ask a question? What is this?
I haven't seen that.
I swear I would pay good money for Donald Trump. We know that people at his staff they consider it. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Come on.
Here's another one. This came out relatively recently. Remember that Donald Trump said, "Let disabled people die"? It was Fred Trump III, right? Sorry, I forgot. He was selling a book. The book was All in the Family, and he said that Donald Trump said this about his son: "I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't recognize you. Maybe you should just let him die. Move on down to Florida." That's what he said, and many family members said, "Yeah, that's not true." And it turned out that Donald Trump actually supported the family, and when he didn't fully support the family continually because they were turning on him, they tried to fabricate that into, that means he wants to kill disabled people. And another one, this was a big deal back in the day, but you may not remember the source of it. Again, these are all examples. Someone said something that Donald Trump said, and it's covered still right now.
Yes.
Still right now on CNN. And then they want to lecture us about journalistic integrity. So you remember the Donald Trump N-word tapes. Everyone said there were tapes out there.
Yeah.
There were tapes. It was all over the media just like this. There are tapes out there of Donald Trump saying the N-word on the set of Celebrity Apprentice. What you may not remember is the source of that. Professional insane person Tom Arnold.
They have to edit him down. They film a full day at Trump Tower, the boardroom set. It's a set. And what they do is they edit that 12-hour day down to 20 minutes, which is what they show on television. Because he's incompetent. He doesn't know what's going on. He's racist. He says the N-word. He says you're right into camera to the camera operators, and they're like, "Whoa!" And 4 times during that, my friends, the executive producers, they had to pull him out. The producers have producers meeting. Whoa! Well, you can't sexually harass the women here. I mean, it's written up. Yeah, it's written up. Mark Burnett knows all this 100%.
Where are the tapes?
Never saw him.
We have the Tom Arnold, who's stumbling over his own words, tape.
Right.
We have the tape With CNN and even Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS running with it forever, talking about the story, but the source was Tom Arnold and maybe some interns over there at the network. Where are the tapes? They start with the allegation, and then there's never any substantiation, and even worse, they don't cover the rebuttal. People who were there, the verifiable proof. Same thing happened with Brett Kavanaugh. By the way, in completely unrelated news, Kamala Harris has a town hall with CNN tonight. We were maybe going to cover it, but I know you guys don't like it. But then I thought, what if we did a CNN town hall roast? But that's more work.
We'll cover it tomorrow if there are any good moments. I guarantee you they're going to ask about this Trump Hitler thing and an effing Mexican for $60,000. I guarantee you they're going to ask. Because Anna Navarro was on Anderson Cooper last night, cussing up a storm with this stuff and getting very pissed off, and she must be... Listen, the Trump-Hitler comments came from October 2021. It was actually already addressed. Donald Trump said, that's not true at all. I'd ever said that. That actually happened in July of 2021.
Right.
They're acting like this is breaking news. And by the way, he said, I came forward now because of Donald Trump. Actually, people are saying this. I'm sorry, I don't want to misattribute. That he came forward now because of Donald Trump's enemy within comment. Okay, so let me get this straight. You worked for the guy. You left in 2019, basically were forced out by Donald Trump. And he is such a threat to democracy. He is Hitler. He loves Hitler. He loves his generals. That you wait 5 years, essentially, to come forward now and say what you're saying?
Here's the thing.
Don't buy it.
Anyone can play. The enemy from within. Well, hold on a second. The enemy is within. The enemy is, the current president, you may forget that, current former vice president, who wants to jail his political opponent because he is currently winning. That's the enemy from within. I get what you're saying. Hey, Hitler would have said, the Jews are the enemy within. Right, okay, but let me ask you this. If you ask the Jews at that point in time, who were in a country ruled by the Nazi party, do you think they would have said, the enemy is within? They also would have said that. They both would have said that. One is right. Donald Trump saying the enemy is within is entirely correct because you're dealing with actual fascists. To say it's fascist for the victim of fascism, to imply that fascism is at play and it is within our own ranks is, well, what do you call it? Victim blaming. And if that makes somebody Hitler, if Donald Trump pointing out the totalitarianism of the left, if that makes someone Hitler, well then you know what? By God, I guess I'm Hitler.
Stephen? No. I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
No, I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I am Hitler. I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I am. Yeah, I'm Hitler.
Nobody's more Hitler than me.
I'm Hitler. Okay, guys, stop. I guess we all have a little more Hitler in us than we realize. Hey, if you enjoyed watching this video, you probably enjoy watching the show. It's live. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you want that to continue, if you slap like or slap the comment button down there, I'll slap Gerald. Wait. If you don't slap it, I'll slap. Either way, I'm going to slap Gerald.